Back here on the Rich Eisen Show, one of our favorites is back here, and I'm not just saying that because he's sitting here watching me introduce him. I truly mean it. John Salley is back here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Yes. Bless up. Thank you.
Always love hearing the New York accent.
Yes.
I love it. Sports Gone Wrong airs Wednesdays at 9 Eastern on Vice TV. You are part of this among the voices from the world of sports and comedy who lends comedy to some of the more wild moments in sports. This has tones of like the I Love the 80s and 90s VH1 show that I used to be part of.
That's exactly what it is.
You bring stuff back from the day and you just comment and you just let it rip.
I know. And, I loved it. They said it. I went and shot it. And then I pitched some shows to them. And so I haven't heard from them. They're like, oh man, you were great on the show. You're going to do the advertising. You want your own stuff? Nah, not going to happen.
You have Paul Verzi, who appeared in that clip. He's been here as well. Joey Molinaro is a narrator, so Joey's a funny guy.
Yeah, it's a really put together well. It comes on every Wednesday night, so you can check it on Vice.
9 Eastern time.
Yeah, everybody has it.
All right, so that was a clip right there. The radio audience is about to rejoin us right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Back on the Rich Eisen Show radio network, I'm sitting at the Rich Eisen Show desk furnished by Grainger with professional-grade products for every industry. Grainger has you covered. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Wednesdays, 9 Eastern time on Vice TV, Sports Gone Wrong. One of the individuals part of this fun program every single week is the only guy who's a four-time NBA champion who played on the Bad Boys Pistons, who appeared in both Bad Boys movies. 1 and 2. Ladies and gentlemen, John Salley.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, and 4.
Right? 1, 2, and 4.
Don't worry.
Were you in the 4?
I wasn't in 3, and I was sitting.
What happened?
Will, I don't know. Will had us go up to Soho, Malibu, and we had a private screening. And then after, I went and sat next to him, and he goes, "What, Sal?" I go, "It would have been better with me in it."
That was Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys 3, which was the highest grossing. Well, until 4 came out and did $1 billion. Did I tell you I was in $1 billion movie called Bad Boys 4?
Let's start with this one. What was it like shooting Bad Boys, the original, like with the guys in the original? What was that?
The crazy thing was, I say it all the time. I went to visit Martin. I said something that pissed him off, but I still went up to set with him, and he was cursing me out all the way up to set. And he was like, you got to get a filter, Sal. I was like, I don't know what a filter is. And I heard the director yelling and screaming. And I said, who's that? He said, the young director. And I said, who's that over there making all that noise? He was like, who? And it was Michael Bay, and he directed my Nike commercial when I wore Nike. And he was like, he's funny. We got to put him in a movie. And Martin's like, you the director? And walked away. And a couple of weeks later, he was like, I got a role for you. And
that's how you got in Bad Boys?
That's how I got in Bad Boys, being at the right place at the right time and taking acting classes when you don't know if you're ever going to get a job. But if that's what you want to do, you got to practice your craft. So I went in and I knew I was going to play this role, and they handed me the glasses, which I now have to wear, but they handed me the glasses. He said, handcuff him, cut his sleeves. And it was like, it's just a scene with you, Martin, and Will. And, people don't think that I know what that meant. I was like, oh, I'm with the principals? Yes. Yeah. And I get to say words? You're kidding me. So it was...
How many takes?
1 take.
1 take?
Well,
the scene with you, Will Smith, and Martin Lawrence took 1 take.
The reason I say that is they shoot it close, wide.
Sure.
Will's point of view, that like he moved the camera, and then he said, I'm going to do a reveal that's going to kill everybody. And it was me standing up and looking down on Martin. It was it's a scene that has been in every one, and especially in the last one, because Martin and I are still going back and forth at it. So I love Martin for that. I love Michael Bay for putting me in, and Will's always had my back. So it was just a blessing to be there.
When did you meet Martin Lawrence? When did that happen?
1988.
Okay.
All right. And so
you're in the NBA now, right?
I'm in the NBA.
Okay.
I want to do comedy. So while everybody else is going to the strip club and to the steakhouse, I'm going to comedy.
One and the same.
Yeah. Magic City is having their anniversary, 40th anniversary. No, so yes. I literally said, this is the deal. I'm going to all these comedy places, and then I'm seeing Martin, and he's a big basketball fan.
Yes.
And I'm a big comedy fan. And it's, I walked in, it was the Comedy Act Theater here in Leimert Park. And, I used to think I was so fly with my custom made and I had a pink shirt and pant made.
Okay.
And I rented a Rolls Royce right here by the airport. And I'm driving in the hood because I know no better. And I'm by myself. And I walk in, and Robin Harris says, "Look at that tall bottle of Pepto-Bismol." And I walked back out, got in the car, came back to Century City, threw that in the trash, put on my T-shirt, jeans, and sneakers, and went back. But I was always wanting to do comedy. So if you want to do it, you got to hang around it. So I'm at the Comedy Store, I'm at the Laugh Factory, I'm at the Improv. I'm everywhere. And then Martin and I, got really good. Arsenio Hall literally took me. I gave him my tickets in 1988. What's up, Arsenio? I miss Arsenio. I don't get to talk to him. But he took me around. He introduced me to Sam Kinison. He took me to La Dome.
Come on.
Yeah, he took me, and I met Wilt Chamberlain that night.
What?
Whoa. Yeah, met Wilt Chamberlain. He hit me in my stomach.
What?
Yeah, Wilt had this thing. He was like, "Take a picture of him." You standing there. I was told, do not loosen up around Wilt. He will try you somehow. And so I'm sitting there, and then it hit me in my stomach. He was, "Oh, you got good core." And I was like, "Oh." Yeah,
But so where'd you come up to on Wilt?
I literally, Wilt was about 2 to 3 inches taller than me.
Okay.
Not as sexy, but
Nice.
but as tall.
Sure.
And people don't realize, like, when you're a pro, you a lot of guys go around and act cool. Man, I would let you know, "Man, you Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, my boy." I saw Kareem, and Kareem didn't talk to me.
That sounds like on brand.
Yeah, it
He doesn't
sounds
say
like
much.
he had nothing to say. He talked to my brother Ron, but he I don't talk to rookies. So, I just was in the mix, and I got, I knew Eddie, and Arsenio, and then you get to know Martin, and then Martin started taking off.
And Eddie's obviously
Eddie Murphy. Sorry.
Right. No, I know that. It's a few people that you can refer to just one name, but I just wanted to make sure that we were talking about the one and the same.
The one and the same.
As opposed to the movie Eddie that you were in.
Which was a great movie, and I should have been nominated. I see you got 3 Emmys in there, and I should have at least had I don't know. I just love Whoopi Goldberg, and she would whisper things, and she would say, "Hey, don't act, be," and I was like, "Got it." Be the character.
Yeah.
And I got to be the character in that wonderful movie, Eddie. Everybody go see it. It's when Whoopi Goldberg takes over as the head coach of the Knicks, which might happen.
By the way, I don't know if they knocked on her door and asked The View for permission to interview her, because they knocked on so many people's doors.
Yeah, they should. I would love to coach the Knicks, just to talk to the media after.
You would be great at it.
Yeah,
I know that.
would.
You would definitely get some headlines.
I know it.
For sure.
I'm trying to get back in, man. I auditioned to NBC. I got on the phone. My wonderful agent, Babette Perry, she set up a call. I said, "Yeah, I want to go back to NBC. I want to work back in television.
Right.
I think we need to give a different look, or we need to give a perspective that I have at watching it for so long and how much I trained." But they gave the job to Brad Daugherty and Tracy McGrady this morning. Good for those guys. I'm very happy for them. Yeah,
You literally just found this out, is what
I
you
found that out. And at first, my cousin Mike Odom, he down in that. He tells me when people die. He tell me he's the black part of the news, so I get all.
You got all of that.
Oh yeah.
How do you think Jordan's going to be as an analyst? What do you think?
It's going to be a lot of, "Yo, that boy sucks." Man, I don't know how they paid that guy. I wouldn't have paid him. You're going to get a lot of because now
is that what he says in the?
He's 62 now. He's going to tell you what he thinks. I'm sure of that. But his perspective is from a killer, so it's going to be really, really good. And you know what? You can tell when somebody's dogging it. Not as well as Michael. Michael can tell, and I think he's going to give. I think it's going to be, at points. I don't think he's going to be constant every day.
the suggestion I gave to somebody at NBC, and I don't know if they're going to take this suggestion.
Is hire John Salley?
Well, I can do that. I didn't know you were interested at the time when I had an audience with somebody in NBC management a few months ago. As I said, you should do a segment with Jordan where somebody, as you know, like the Shaq in a Fool segment, right?
Right.
Where Shaq responds to somebody doing something silly, because inevitably somebody will say something silly. They put it on an iPad and hand it to him like they did back in the day for The Last Dance. And because you never wanted to be on the iPad handed to Michael Jordan.
No.
That is the last place you wanted to be. It's like, did you hear what this person had to say, Mike? Roll tape. And he would read it. He would look at this thing and he'd react. That's what they should do whenever they have Michael Jordan. Like, don't tell him what's on the iPad. Hand it to him and let him go.
You can't be giving away, and I said that ironically on purpose. You can't be giving away your goods, man.
You know what? But I'm a giver.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I mean, if Jordan had an exclusive deal with the Rich Eisen Show, one, I wouldn't have given away. Two,
are they giving those away?
No. Two, I wouldn't be able to afford anything else around here. You know what I mean?
I know. You guys would be done.
Yeah, we'd be.
But I'm happy to have you on talking hoops as much as you want.
And
John.
whenever you want to go on vacation again because you don't feel like working and you want me to host, I am available.
You did that.
Yes,
You
twice.
did that. Right. Ready to have you back.
I know
here
these guys carried me too. You know, they don't answer my text.
3 hours.
But you know,
John Salley hasn't texted me in 3 years.
What was that? What was that? Did you not respond to a text?
John Salley hasn't texted me in at least 3 years. Matter of fact, I am going to look. What's the last time?
I am going to look. By the way, in the last 5 minutes, is there more truth being told here on the show than in any other 5-minute period in recent days? What's happening right here?
And you know, I got Roku. I started watching Roku.
Well, you should.
I did. Now, this is funny. I started watching it. And then I was like, oh, Rich is on Roku now. All right. Yeah. But I saw a show with my boy Omar, who designs shoes. Like he's an unbelievable designer. He designed the duck boot. And Keanu Reeves has like this documentary with his partner, and I was locked in. And so I was like, man, I got to talk to the powers that be. Yeah, I got a show called Being John Salley. Because I think it's funny. My life is hilarious. I laugh all the time. I did a show with my producing partner, Garrett Bass, and I went to all the cities that I played in, but wasn't allowed to go out. So I started in Portland, and I did all the things that people would do that a professional. We go to the cities, and I could tell you, my teammates can tell you where every Ruth Chris is, every P.F. Chang's, and where you help girls get through college. They can tell you all of those places.
Yeah, John.
But in Portland,
is this your pitch right now? I mean, we might have to scrub the pitch a little bit. I'm not gonna
places
lie.
where you go to reinvest in the community. Reinvest your funds into the community.
And help those with daddy issues. Because I'm a good dad. See, he's the best dad ever.
That's
I'm the greatest dad ever.
This means something vastly different from what we're putting down right now.
There's dad and
Okay.
dad.
Dad and then daddy. I mean, daddy.
Yeah.
Right. You're on Roku. We can say stuff.
We're on the radio too, but it's okay.
Yeah,
It's no
and
worries.
they laugh. They laugh. They're in their cars.
Actually, somebody's on the phone line for you right now.
Oh, really?
Jason in Phoenix, Arizona has got a question for John Salley. We haven't done this often, right? Jason, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, John Salley is on the program. Again, Sports Gone Wrong airs Wednesdays, 9 Eastern on Vice TV. What's your question for John Salley, Jason in Phoenix?
John, it's a pleasure. I'm a Detroit native. You guys made my life as a 13-year-old like the best it could possibly be.
Oh, bless up.
I want to know, as a bad boy, what it was like after MJ threw you guys under the bus at the Tribune in '91, after shaking your hand, and then said that y'all were bad champions, backward basketball, this and that, but then to later get recruited by not only you, Buddha, and Rodman, and then to go play with them. after that? What was that like? Was that awkward at all? Did y'all have to make an agreement like, hey, just don't say nothing about that?
Good question.
No,
Jason in Phoenix.
Jason, I thought you were going to say, I already took that paternity test. You are not my son.
Nice.
No, let me just say this. We don't get recruited. This is a job for us. And going to Chicago, I was supposed to be a Chicago Bull first. At least that what Jerry Krause told me to my 3 meetings as a high school as a
so
cop.
you're talking about draft. You were
He was like, I'm going to draft you. And Doug Collins was like, yeah. And I went and I hung out with Reinsdorf, who I still am really cool with because I do an event with him in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I went 3 times. And then they said, the 9th pick, the Chicago Bulls, and I started buttoning my suit. They said, Brad Sellers, and then I stretched. I was like, and I was like, and so I told Jerry, he goes, hey, long, tall, he shoots the ball better than you do. I said, no, he doesn't. He goes, I said, well, I'm going to take it out on him every time I play.
And did you?
Oh, yeah. And Brad Sellers is a good guy to me, but he didn't know what my idea was. My idea was I'm playing against you. I'm glad we won some of those games, but I was on a personal vendetta against him, Boston Celtics, who else? Washington Bullets, Philadelphia 76ers, like certain places that had me come in and didn't draft me, I went at them. But to go back to his question, when I got out of my deal in Toronto, and this may be controversial the way I say it, I was the only free slave in the NBA. And what I mean by that is I bought my rights back. So I had my waivers, and I can choose where I wanted to go.
Yes.
And when Jerry Krause called, I said yes. And James Edwards Buddha was already there, and Dennis was
Great.
taking over at that spot. We went in, and for everybody out there, the NBA is like IBM. You play in the Los Angeles office, or you play in the Chicago office. So I was in the NBA. When I was young, I just said I wanted to be in the NBA. I wanted to be a Celtic because I was a Celtic fan. I love green and white, but the red, white, and blue in Detroit was my colors.
Well, I mean, and thanks for the call, Jason. I was in Michigan as a student when the bad boys were taking off.
Yeah.
Mahorn and Chuck Daly wearing those suits looking like John Gotti.
Daddy Rich.
And Isaiah. And Dumars was like one of the only likable guys, for New York Knicks fans sitting there in Detroit. You guys just started beating the crap out of people. Laimbeer I despised with a passion.
Really?
Yeah. What do you mean, really? What do you mean, really?
He is the true American.
I give you the floor.
He comes in, takes over. Probably, I had great teammates. Ralph Lewis, Chuck Nevitt. Glenn Rice, Willie Burton, and Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
Matt Geiger. I love these guys. But Bill Laimbeer was about the team and winning. It took me until I came to my second Saturn return, that means 60, and it made me realize that Bill Laimbeer was the person who carved and chiseled steel against steel and was like, you have all this talent, stop wasting it.
That's what he told you?
Yeah, he said, hey, why do you miss foul shots? I said, what? He said, they're free and you can shoot. Put the ball in the basket. Every basket is worth $100,000 or $10,000. Man, I went from 68 to 79 to 80 because he didn't try to be my friend. He was the vet he was supposed to be. I didn't like a lot of things he did, but, the proof is in the pudding.
From the outside world, though,
that white and white crime got to stop. Rich, that white and white crime.
That's not what I'm saying. I mean, he was filthy.
No, he was
filthy.
He was
filthy.
I just saw something. I did the Byron Scott podcast, and I talked about Maurice Lucas.
Okay.
Now, Maurice Lucas was filthy. Maurice Lucas was no joke. To this point, if I see Maurice Lucas now, from over there and he doesn't smile at me, I don't care if the door's that way. I'm taking the window. This is not a man that you joke with. So Bill Laimbeer played the way they played.
Yes.
He didn't. He reached down at the ball, he boxed you out, and he played every single moment. There was no lag in his game.
Well, there's somebody with an opposing point of view. Larry in French Lick, Indiana. You're on the radio. Well, come on, man.
Think about this.
Were you on the court for that one?
Yes, I was.
What happened?
What happened is...
What had happened?
What had happened was... Well, this is the deal. If Bill Laimbeer was on the Boston Celtics, he'd be Heinsohn.
Okay.
Right? So he played like a Celtic, like Greg Kite. He would be a Celtic. He played hard. Whatever ability he had, he worked it. I'm telling you.
Sure. So, but what happened on the court that
happened
caused
is,
him to take down Larry and Larry to throw a basketball at him?
Okay, so what happened is Larry pump faked Dennis. Dennis went up and his leg got caught on Larry, and then Larry fell.
Okay.
They both jumped. But he didn't care that Dennis's leg was wrapped around his neck. He cared that Bill Laimbeer was that close to him. and he went at Bill. But Bill didn't do anything that we don't do in basketball until Your Highness, I'm sorry, the Messiah of life, I'm sorry, Michael Jordan came into the league. And you wasn't allowed to hit, but everybody was getting hit, right? So if a guard came into the lane,
Oh, yeah.
they were laying wood on.
This was the Bad Boys era. Charles Oakley
But
was
the
now...
real bad boys were the Celtics, and it's funny because, what's his name? James Worthy said that. They was so dirty. Danny Ainge was Danny Ainge and Bill Laimbeer in one. He was, like, people wanted to kill... To this day, people want to kill Danny Ainge. Smart, good guy,
Right.
but, man, they want to go at him.
Including Ace Bailey?
Yes.
For drafting him. So when Larry threw the basketball, he was on, right? I mean, like, what happened then?
Well, he threw the basketball, and the referees said, Your Highness, you can't do that.
Come on.
And they didn't fine him. They didn't tech him. Nothing.
They didn't tech him.
No. Even
maybe they thought
this
Bill
is crazy.
deserved it.
When Robert Parrish was beating up Bill, the referee was standing there watching it like the rest of us, did not move until Bill was on the ground. And Robert Parrish just got a technical foul and was allowed to sit down. I heard all of America was cheering at that time.
80s was different, man.
Yeah, it was at a point. I remember when guys were going to fight. I'm so happy I didn't play against Bob Lanier. Bob Lanier was left-handed, so that means he was going to fight southpaw, and you didn't want to deal with that. You didn't want to deal with somebody fighting southpaw.
Isn't that the line from Airplane?
Yes.
Right? For Kareem told the kid,
Yes.
You try dragging
No, he
Walton
said,
and
I
Lanier.
bust my butt every night up and down court. You tell your dad to try to drag Bob Lanier up and down.
Walton and Lanier.
Walton and Lanier,
It's
yeah.
one of the best lines.
He wasn't acting, he was being the character.
That's called a full circle comment. John, you could come anytime you want. Why are you such a stranger here?
Because he don't pay me.
That's
But besides,
We can talk about it.
I have habits I have to take care of. They're called family. Daughters always have their hand out. Wife is like, I want another polite. I want another reformer.
Understood.
It's
I
tough.
got you.
It's
Okay.
tough.
Well, listen, it's great to see you. Your stories, you could go on for days. We
I
could
know.
spend all 3 hours, which is why once upon a time
Call
I
your
gave you
people
this
at
chair.
NBC and say, hiya, brother.
Okay, I will do such a thing. I think you just did it anyway yourself. Sports Gone Wrong airs Wednesdays at 9 Eastern Time on Vice TV.
Yes.
At the John Salley or at John Salley, depending on where you want to find this man online.
Yep.
Good to see you, sir.
Good seeing you. Love you, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Salley here on the Rich Eisen Show. Stellar appearance.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.